everyone, it's Amy, and today in my kitchen I am making thick, fudgy Nutella brownies. I took my classic brownie recipe and I'm adding in so much hazelnut. You're gonna love these. And I love how easy they are to make too. So let's get started. So in a mixing bowl, you're gonna add in 1 cup of melted butter. And you can also do this in a saucepan on your stove top. So to the melted butter, we're gonna add in a whole 1.5 cups of Nutella, as well as 2 cups of granulated sugar. And you're gonna mix that up until it's creamy, so watch it happen. All right, we're gonna add in 4 eggs, and I like to add them in one at a time so that way you can mix them in completely. So we'll just drop it in and mix. And you'll see your brownie batter start to get glossy as you add these eggs in. I'm also going to add in a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and you can measure it if you want to. I just like to pour with the heart. Blend that in. Okay, add in a cup of all-purpose flour, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. And you want to mix big strokes just until the dry ingredients are blended in. This ensures that you're not over mixing, which would create more of a dense brownie. All right, it looks great. I've got a 9-inch square baking dish that I've lined with parchment paper. I secured it with binder clips, but you take those off before you bake. And we're gonna pour the batter right into the prepared pan. And here's the best part. We're gonna take another 1/4 cup of Nutella, and I like to place little dollops on the top of the brownies, and you can swirl them in or you can keep them just as they are. I like to keep them so when you bite into that cooled brownie, you got a puddle of Nutella. So I just take a scooper and a little bit and I plop them right on the top. Okay, we're gonna put these in a 350-degree preheated oven, and we're gonna bake them for about 45 to 50 minutes. And then you wanna let them cool completely before you slice into them. This allows them to kind of set a little bit. You'll notice that they shrink more than a regular brownie, and that's because the Nutella is a little heavier than cocoa powder. So let's put them in and I'll be back. Okay, our brownies have cooled. I'm putting a little sprinkle of some flaked sea salt on top. I love that sweet and salty flavor. And I'm gonna get a cutting board here, and we're gonna dig right into these. That's why I use parchment paper, so you can just lift it right out of your dish. Look at that crackle on each topping. I'm gonna take a middle piece though, because I want you to see that big puddle of Nutella on the top. Enjoy.